Welcome seekers of the truth to the Magical Services channel. So this is going to be a more supreme horoscope for the general collective with accents on love and career for the week that is between May 4th to May 11th of this year of 2026. With that said, collective, let's get into your horoscope. So the week opens under a dense consolidating field of Taurus momentum and everything begins to narrow toward tangible outcomes. The Sun advances from mid to late Taurus while Mercury accelerates rapidly through the same sign, tightening the signal around material decisions, commitments, and grounded execution. This is not speculative energy. This is locking things in. You're dealing with realities that demand definition, financial structures, ownership, stability frameworks, and anything tied to long-term security. Conversations become sharper, faster, and more decisive as Mercury gains speed. And by the second half of the window, what was uncertain becomes operational. At the same time, Venus continues its smooth transit through Gemini, amplifying relational dynamics through communication, curiosity, and multiplicity. There is movement in love, more dialogue, more options, more interactions, but not necessarily immediate emotional depth. This is social expansion, not emotional consolidation. If leveraged correctly, this opens doors through charm, adaptability, and strategic conversation. If mishandled, it diffuses focus. The key is precision in messaging. Mars in Aries remains dominant and unwavering, pushing forward with sustained initiative. This is raw execution energy, direct, fast, and unapologetic. It forms a consistent backdrop of action across the entire week. When paired with Saturn also in Aries, the impulse is not reckless. It is structured aggression. Moves made now carry consequence and durability. This combination favors disciplined offense, so calculated risks, decision leadership, and long-term positioning through immediate action. Jupiter in Cancer continues to expand emotional intelligence, protective instincts, and intuitive decision-making. There is a subtle but persistent growth in areas tied to home, security, and emotional investments. This supports both personal and professional environments, particularly where trust and loyalty are involved. However, Jupiter's pace is slow compared to Mercury and Mars, meaning emotional growth lags behind strategic and physical execution. This creates a gap. Decisions may outpace emotional processing. The moon's progression is critical this week. It begins in Sagittarius, pushing outward with vision and expansion, but quickly grounds into Capricorn, where the tone shifts toward responsibility, structure, and accountability. By May 8th to May 10th, the moon transitions into Aquarius and hits the last quarter phase. This is a decisive turning point. The last quarter moon is not about building, it is about correction, elimination, and recalibration. Systems that are inefficient or misaligned begin to break down or demand adjustment. There is friction here, but it is productive friction. It forces refinement. By the end of this period, the moon enters Pisces, dissolving the rigid structures imposed earlier in the week and introducing a more fluid, intuitive closing phase. This is where insights integrate. What was pushed, built, and corrected earlier now settles into understanding. However, this is not a time to reverse decisions, only to internalize their meaning. One of the most critical structural shifts in this window is Pluto stationing retrograde in Aquarius on May 7th. This is not subtle. When Pluto stations, its influence amplifies dramatically. In Aquarius, this targets systems, networks, and power structures, and collective frameworks. The retrograde motion signals a reversal of momentum. Power dynamics begin to turn inward. Hidden control mechanisms, underlying influences, and systemic imbalances start to surface. This is a period of exposure and recalibration at a deep level. Anything artificial, manipulative, or unsustainable begins to lose coherence. Neptune in early Aries continues to introduce a background layer of ideological activation. Visions, beliefs, and identity-driven motivations are subtly influencing actions. However, Neptune remains slow and diffuse, meaning its effects are more atmospheric than immediate. It shapes perception more than outcome. Career trajectory during this period is defined by execution under pressure. Mars and Saturn in Aries demand action with accountability, while the Sun and Mercury in Taurus require that actions produce measurable results. This is a performance window. Output matters, efficiency matters, hesitation is penalized. Strategic moves made now can establish long-term positioning, particularly if they align with tangible value creation. In love and relational dynamics, Venus in Gemini introduces variability. There is attraction through intellect, communication, and novelty. However, stability is not guaranteed unless reinforced by deliberate choice. The environment encourages exploration rather than commitment. For those seeking expansion, this is advantageous. For those seeking depth, it requires conscious grounding. By the close of May 10th into May 11th, the energetic field shifts into a quieter but more internally reflective state as the moon enters Pisces and illumination drops significantly. This is the integration phase. The week's actions, decisions, and corrections consolidate into understanding. What remains is what holds structural integrity. What dissolves was never stable to begin with. The net outcome of this entire window is clear. Decisive action leads to tangible positioning, but only if it is grounded, structured, and aligned with reality. Anything built on instability, distraction, or illusion will not sustain under the pressure being applied. So that's what I have for you today, collective. I hope you enjoyed it. I surely made it for you to enjoy. And if you did, please like this video, or comment this video, or share this video. Or subscribe to our channel so you get first dibs on future uploads. And of course, that would help me grow the Supreme channel of ours very much. In case you wanted to help me do that, it would be nice. Now, make sure to check out the offer in the description box. It is a brand new offer. It is pretty hot and could be very useful, in fact. And also check out my other videos. I always keep fresh stuff on here made for y'all with Supreme standards. All sign readings, sign-specific readings, longs and shorts, divination readings, and astrology readings, and whatever else you would like to see. So please do let me know about it. Until then, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here, collective. And until the next time, blessings.